Welcome to the vlog.
Hello, Freehand back, and we are back. So excited to be with you today. Today's gonna be a fun one. I thought I'm just really missing my husband lately. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks, but we get to see him. But it's been 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks, there have been protests and riots and children that don't want to do their schoolwork, and there have been just meals that I don't want to make, and it's just been, you know, it's a lot to do by yourself, 5 kids all alone. So today I thought I would, instead of talk about how hard it is, I want to talk about something fun. So I want to share our love story with you. Meet Colton and Kiana, parents of the Preheim Pack. All right, Preheim Pack, let's chat. I met my husband Colton when I was 23 years old, and it was funny when I met him because I was on this year-long determination of being single. So from the January of 2003 until I met my husband, I was single. I was not dating anybody, and I was happy about it. And then he showed up. All right, I want to tell you guys how we met. So I met my husband Colton in 2003. I was 23 years old, and I was sitting at my kitchen table. So we had neighbors that I had become friends with, and these neighbors had a couple set of friends. And the female I had become close with. So she was actually at my house this day, just hanging out. I also had a friend of mine in town from Canada, and we were just sitting at the table having a great time. And the next thing I know, I looked over at my front door, and he was standing there. And he had come over, he was looking for friends of friends who were at my house. He was friends with my neighbors. He was friends with a girl who was visiting with me, and he just walked in after someone opened the door. He walked into my kitchen. He started talking to his friend, and I remember looking at him. He had on this bright orange shirt because his dad worked for Caltrans, and he was wearing his dad's shirt, and I thought, he's pretty cute. So that whole afternoon and evening when I had people at my house, we didn't speak. We never spoke to each other. However, the friend of mine that he came to see and her boyfriend came over 2 days later, and they both approached me and said, "Hey, do you remember that guy who came over to see us named Colton? He really likes you." And I was like, how could he like me when we've never had a conversation? And they said, "Well, are you interested?" They totally tag teamed me. "Are you interested? Are you interested?" And I knew he had asked them to ask me. And I said, "Yeah, I am." And the next thing I know, he was at my house again that evening, and we ended up starting this conversation just about his life, about his past, and about his family, and we talked for 8 hours straight. I remember thinking I had never met someone who was so tender, and I fell in love with his heart, and I fell in love with his love for his family, and that was just the beginning. After we talked for 8 hours that evening, he went back home and basically we talked every single day, all day after that when he was not at work. And then he told me one night that he was talking to somebody else before he met me, and he had to decide which one of us he was going to be serious about. I was so stinking mad at him for saying that. We'll go tomorrow. We'll go see Daddy tomorrow. I was so mad at him for saying that. However, come to find out, he was lying. He was just trying to get me to be more interested in him. And he was into me the whole time. So, fast forward 2 months after the day that we talked for 8 hours straight, we got married. And we have been married for almost 17 years now. JJ, you have any questions? No questions? Elijah, you have any questions?
Yes.
What?
What?
Love you. And that is how the Preheim Pack started. What are you most looking forward to after getting out and coming home? It has to be appropriate.
I'm looking forward to a lot of things, Kiana. Just things that I couldn't do when I was not sober. Things that I like to do. I want to spend more time with you and the kids, and I want to let the kids see how I am when I'm sober. It's been a long time. Love you like I should have been loving you like the last 15 years.
We miss you.
You're making me cry. I miss you too. I miss my family.
Yeah.
I don't know what I miss because I haven't experienced it that much. I miss I want to be a real father. I want to be there for my kids and have a clear mind. And clear thoughts. I want to be a godly father, like I know I can be. I want to be a godly husband. I want to show you how good I can be to you. I want to be healthy. Mentally and spiritually, physically. I just want to be there.
Julianne, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Talk about you a lot with Sheena.
Take a look at these pictures. This is our journey when we got married, when we had our very first baby girl, when we had William, our precious Elijah, and the twins. Enjoy Preheim Pack. behind pack.
Bye bye behind backpack.